Hey, it's Sue. How you doing? I am now in Sapporo in Japan and so blessed because the cherry blossom season has not finished here. We've gone far enough north that we can still see the cherry blossoms. So when I get to them, I will show you the pretty cherry blossoms. But right now I'm just walking around Maruyama Park in Sapporo. It is magnificent. It's so nice to be able to get out in nature and walk around. And earlier today, when I was walking around, I saw something that made me think of every kid's dream. We walked past a playground and there was a shop window in the playground. And it just made me think, so many playgrounds have this little shop window and it is a kid magnet, because I think there's something in us that selling things, like going to buy things, is just part of our everyday existence. And as digital product creators, we get a little distanced from that, because when we are selling things, there is that traditional funnel route where in order to sell something, you've got to take people through the buyer's journey, and they've got to give you their email, and then you'll give them a free thing, and then you'll, over a period of time, tell them what you actually have available for sale. But the way that we as people and humans have traditionally sold is just, you go to a shop window, you see what is available, and you buy it. Like it's kind of like the normal and way to do it. It just made me think of this when I saw these little kids playing in the park in their shop window, trading sticks for leaves and all the things that they were doing. That there is a simpler way. I've been selling things online for pretty much my entire online career. I had my first shop in an actual shop. It was not probably the best idea. It was back in the mid-90s, when for some reason, I thought that having a bit of a side hustle shop on the weekends was a good idea. Let me tell you, shops that only open on the weekends aren't usually the most successful. And that is because, as a very naive shop owner, myself and my friend who were running the shop thought that, that would be enough to keep it going. But we didn't have the budget. We didn't have enough revenue to be able to support staff in our beautiful little shop, which is a common problem. Like, shops, physical shops, have a massive amount of overhead, because you've got to have the stock, you've got to pay your rent, you've got to pay staff if you're not there, or it needs to be able to earn enough money for your full-time income. You have to pay for, all the overheads, the actual shop fit out. And depending on where your shop is, your rent can be pretty astronomical. If you want to be in a shopping center that has a huge amount of foot traffic, you're probably talking 5 figures a week to rent a shop. So shops, as amazing as they are, like physical shops to sell physical things, it's no wonder that the world turned to e-commerce, because it's a lot more efficient and it's a lot cheaper as an owner of the the business to be able to sell with e-commerce. You can, have a warehouse instead of an expensive shop. Everything's online. You reduce your overheads. And I had an e-commerce business for 10 years. It was a $3 million a year business, super successful, but oh my God, super stressful. Like the amount of overheads when you got 15 staff. We had a main warehouse. We had 2 other warehouses in 2 different countries, trying to manage customer service in different countries, which comes with its own challenges because of cultural differences. It was a lot, and unfortunately that business didn't last and went out of business in 2014. But it was a tough gig, and when I discovered digital products, it was like, oh my God, like the overheads were nothing in comparison. Like, it's just such a phenomenal difference that you can sell digital products online without having the expenses of stock. You don't have the expenses of warehouse. You have very little overheads in terms of staff, and it's just magnificent. But the thing is that I think as digital entrepreneurs, we're a bit stuck in the funnel land, and that being the only way for people to know what we even sell. And it makes sense, because if you're going to do a launch, you want to be able to build people up. You want to build the excitement. You want to make sure that they have all the information that they need to be able to make a decision to buy your product. But there are some people who don't need that. Like, not everyone needs to go through the funnel to be able to decide that, hey, this thing that you're selling is really cool. And especially if it's something that's just an easy yes. Like, there's probably things that you could be selling that aren't super complicated. They could be just simple digital download products, mini courses, lessons, templates, maybe even coaching sessions. There's so many things that you could sell that don't need all of that fuss and fluff, and you could just start selling them in the equivalent of an e-commerce shop, but for digital products instead of physical products. Oh, now I'm in the peak cherry blossom place. Can you see all those blossoms? So pretty. So yeah, when Kajabi announced last year that they were having a cart, oh, I was so happy. I was so happy, because so many of us have all these products that are kind of hidden away. Maybe they're order bumps or upsells or little products that aren't our main product, but we've still created them. I know for myself, like, this is my 6th year in online business, and I have so many resources that I've created that are buried in other programs. Some are even buried in programs I'm not actively selling anymore. Things that I've created, resources for that course, but they're still valuable on their own. And my plan is to turn those into digital products to help stock my digital product store. So that's kind of where the idea came from for the Kajabi shop sprint. As I was like, I know I am not the only one with things that I've created that I'm not actively selling. I'm not even trying to sell them. In fact, I probably don't even have a place for people to buy them, or even for people to know what I have available. So having a Kajabi store page, like a cart page, which you can actually activate the cart all over your entire website. It doesn't need to just be one page. But having kind of that central place where people can go and they can learn about the things that you have and check out resources. You know, maybe some of these things aren't expensive. Maybe they can be, you know, you can have a little less than $10 section, you know, but you've probably created lessons, you've probably created mini courses, trainings that, sure, maybe they didn't set the world on fire and they aren't your main product and you're not making hundreds of thousands of dollars out of them, but they could still be selling if people knew where to find them. You might be able to do things like have a little flash sale across your whole shop. Maybe you can categorize your products into different sections, and there's just so much that you can do. And I feel like this Kajabi cart feature that's been recently released, and the Kajabi, you know, being able to create a shop page to showcase everything that you have, it's just such a fantastic opportunity. So I am doing the Kajabi shop sprint on the 30th of May and the 6th of June. It will be 2 3-hour sessions where we're going to do it together. The first session on the 30th of May, we're going to look for all these opportunities, all these digital download products that you could have potentially already created, and you can stock your store then with lots of different things. And if you haven't already created things, I'll help you come up with some ideas. Now, the beautiful thing about digital downloads is that they unlock one product. One digital download product unlocks as many as you want. They are unlimited past the first one. So you make one digital download product and you can then sell hundreds if you want to. All of those things that are maybe not huge resources. Maybe they are just on their own little templates, guides, like PDF books that you've created, little mini walkthroughs of things that could be sold and have value as standalone resources. They're just not being sold. Those are easy things to turn into digital download products. Maybe you've got templates. I've created so many little things that, you know, maybe they're not, you know, maybe they're just $5 items, and I'm sure you probably have them too. And these are the types of things that are perfect for a shop, because people can pick and choose. When you have a shop page, people aren't restricted to buying one thing at a time or one thing plus an order bump. They can buy as many as they want. They can make little bundles for themselves, and there's, you know, just so much potential. And of course, because digital download products don't take up your product slots, it just gives you a lot more freedom and flexibility to be able to sell more with Kajabi. So the first day, that's what we're going to go through, creating those products together. Now, these live sessions are as much about accountability as anything else, because sometimes it's just the fact that you're like, I am going to do this, and I am the world's biggest cheerleader when it comes to this kind of stuff. So I want to do it together. I want to have this opportunity where we can come together, we can inspire each other, and actually go through that process. I'm going to give the tutorials, like the instructions, so that you're not coming into it unprepared. Like, all of that will be ready around a week beforehand. So if you want to go through it and start getting some stuff ready, absolutely. But the first session is 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Friday, the 30th of May, that is Eastern time. And then a week later, we're going to come back together and we're going to build our shop pages together. Now, the awesome thing about this is that shop pages, there's a lot of flexibility. So I'm going to show you some different examples, different ways that you can lay out your shop, how you can use the shop throughout your Kajabi site, because it doesn't just have to be on that store page. The cart works throughout your whole site. So I'll show you how to incorporate it into your existing Kajabi site and just really start making the most of ways that you can be making more money and helping people to see what you have available. You've got so many amazing resources, I imagine. I know that I have, and they're just kind of hidden. A lot of them are kind of gathering digital dust on places where I'm going to have to actually go and be like, I remember creating that, and then go and find it, because it may be like in a lesson in a course that I created 3 years ago. And like I said, not selling the course anymore, but that individual resource that went with it was super, super valuable. So we're going to pull all that together. Going to look at what you've also got available that could go onto to your cart page. And even if it is an offer that you only want to have in a funnel, you can still have an introduction to that on that cart page. Like your cart page is like think of it like an e-commerce way. If you wanted to go into a store, like if you wanted to go to Amazon, you can go to Amazon and see everything that's available right now. You can look at different categories of things. You could just have all the things just on one page. So I'll show you that if you've got lots and lots of things, how you can categorize it. Sometimes you'll want people to be able to buy it just immediately, and sometimes you may not want them to be able to buy it immediately. Sometimes you want them to get more information, and you can use that shop page to direct them through to a free training or something else that they might need. So there's so much flexibility, and that is what we're going to do on the 6th of June. And if you get your shop page up, I want to shout it out to the world and be like, yes, look at the shop page that you have made. So I'm going to be sending out an email on the 12th of June. And if you have got your shop page made by then, I'm going to share it with everyone. So you'll get some visibility for your page as well, which is pretty cool. So that is just my thoughts for you today as I wander around this beautiful park in Hokkaido in Japan. I hope you can join me for the shop sprint. It is a very special deal, $99 US dollars until the 14th. So till midnight of the 14th, you can register for the early bird pricing, which is pretty fantastic. It's going to go up to $197 after that, so makes sense to get it cheap while you can. And all of those online tutorial resources are going to be available by the 23rd of May. So you'll be able to start having a look at it. You'll have a few weeks to work through everything. And then hopefully, I'm going to be able to share your beautiful shop page with the world on the 12th of June. So it's a Kajabi shop sprint. If you've got any questions, let me know about it. But I would love to see you there. It'll be really cool. We're going to have fun. I always make my live sessions like this lots of fun. It's kind of like a combo of co-working. I'll be there to help answer questions, but the main focus is on getting it done. This is your time to be like, all right, I've seen it. It looks cool, but now I'm going to actually do it. So that's what's happening. And I really do hope that I will see you there. Hope you enjoyed the cherry blossoms. I've actually just walked in a loop completely away from the cherry blossoms, so I can't even do a big show off of the cherry blossoms for you at the end, because I'm like, oh man, now I've gone into the not cherry blossom part of this park. But it has been beautiful walking around here today, and yes, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I do hope that I will see you in a few weeks at the Kajabi shop sprint. Bye bye.